All right, hello everybody, and welcome to live deck building with BGM. Tonight we're building Ultima. Ultima is a 5-drop legendary colorless commander from the Final Fantasy series. He's originally from Final Fantasy 16. He is the main villain of Final Fantasy 16. He's got some interesting abilities. He says whenever this thing attacks, we get to put a blight counter on a land, and we sometimes want to pick our own lands because then our lands will tap for more, assuming they don't already tap for colorless specifically instead of generic. Also, it's a flying 4/4, and it's a way for us to turn off the abilities of our opponent's lands. It's a good time, it's a colorless commander, and we're running it tonight. If you have any suggestions for our colorless commander, Ultima, please put them in the chat, y'all. That way, you might see them over here. If you see them over here, they'll be put into a Mox Field deck list, and you guys can see that deck list and all the other cards all the other viewers are suggesting on my Mox Field profile. We have our first suggestion. It's from Green Eggs. Oh my god! Hey Green Eggs, good to see you. Echoes of Eternity. We're gonna put in Echoes of Eternity because we can never get enough triggers. Echoes of Eternity. That's not the right thing. Okay. All right. Echoes of Eternity. Echoes of Eternity is a 7-drop from... Oh, come on. Don't do this to my Mox Field. Why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta do it now? All right. Let's try it that way. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Of Eternity. There we go. There it is. Okay, Echoes of Eternity. 6 mana, 3 colorless pips. If a triggered ability of a colorless spell you control, or another colorless permanent you control triggers, you get an additional trigger. Triggered abilities are things that say when, whenever, or if. Our commander has a triggered ability on an attack trigger to start pooping out blight counters. Echoes of Eternity will give us multiple triggers of that, and whenever you cast a colorless spell, copy it. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, probably the best colorless card we could run. Hey Green Eggs, do you see my fancy beverage? I got little boba poppin' pearls. It's very fun. I'm very excited for myself. All right. That's Echoes of Eternity. And if we're running a colorless deck, why wouldn't we run a Roaming Throne? Maybe it's because it's like $50. That's probably why. Oh, it's only 40. What a bargain. Roaming Throne is a 4-drop colorless golem 4/4. It's got Ward 2, and when it enters, we get to pick a creature type. It becomes the chosen type, and if a triggered ability of the creature type we chose triggers, it triggers again. This thing's great in Commander. You just pick your commander's creature type, and if your commander's got triggers, they're gonna trigger more and more. It's a good time. It's a $40 card, and it's gonna improve almost every deck it goes into. It is absolutely nutty. Into the list that goes. All right, we're gonna slide that over here so we can see. Oh my God! Hey Foxy! Hey Adam! Hey Jose Hope Speaking! Y'all check out Jose Home Speaking. He makes good TikToks. He often talks about other creators. He's a vibe. Hey Foxy. Foxy wants us to run a Foundry Inspector. Foundry Inspector. Is this the mana reduction? Yeah. Foundry Inspector. You see this thing in every Artifact Storm deck because it reduces artifacts. Artifacts costing cast buy one, make everything cheaper. It's really fun in Artifactocrat decks as well. It's just an artifacts staple at this point. It's such a staple that it's being put in precons. This looks like it was printed from the Commander Masters precon, y'all. You can look at that little set symbol. Thank you for the suggestion, y'all. Great one to put in here. We are going to be running a ton of artifacts because we ain't running no colors. We are running only wastes, or maybe we're running a crap ton of utility lands too. What do y'all think? Y'all got any interesting lands for this deck? Okay, our Samsair wants us to run the Extra Planner Lens. You know what's funny about Extra Planner Lens? Extra Planner Lens is not a card that I see much anymore. It's undeniably a powerful card. We're going to pull it up here in just a sec. Extra Planner Lens, it's a $12 3-drop colorless artifact. When it comes into play, you may remove a land you control from the game, and whenever a land of the same name as the imprinted land is tapped for mana, it adds more mana. This thing is super popular in monocolored decks, I believe, but it makes sense for our colorless deck. And it functions a little like our commander, except we just got to sack a land to it. Lands that produce colorless will tap for extra while our commander's on board. We could exile a waste with this thing. We're probably going to run in quite a few wastes. It's going to be our basic. And then we could exile one with the Extra Planner Lens, and then we get even more mana to shit out our massive spaghetti monsters. Inventors Fair, Foxy Benedict coming through with the Inventors Fan. Anytime, Jose. Inventors Fair. Anytime. Inventors Fair came out from the set called Kaladesh, which was a plane that's recently been renamed to Avishkar. This is a legendary land that says at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you get a life. It taps for colorless, it enters untapped, and you can sacrifice it for 4 mana, search your library for an artifact, but you can only do that if you got 3 or more artifacts. Why not? It's legendary, it's $20. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, it's a great card. Kaladesh was like one of my very first sets. Kaladesh is the very first set that I ever bought a box of. Thank you guys so much for all the suggestions. Good to see you, Genius Panda. I just saw you get here. Oh my god, it's Chaos Seb. He wants us to run Desecrate Reality. That makes me nervous. Y'all better watch out. Seb is one of the best players I know. I get to play with him sometimes in the Discord server. Seb fucks me up on the reg, y'all. Here we go. We got Desecrate Reality. It's a 7-mana, $6 colorless instant from Commander Masters that says, for each opponent, exile up to 1 target permanent that player controls with even CMC. And if at least 3 colorless mana was spent to cast the spell, return a permanent card with Ard mana from your graveyard to the battlefield. That could be an Eldrazi Titan, as long as it's not one of the Shuffle Titans that shuffles your graveyard as soon as it gets into it. But there are quite a few Titans that don't do that anymore. That was originally built into their game design for the original Titans, so they couldn't be cheated out of the graveyard. I'm for real about Seb. Y'all better watch out. Okay. Inventors Fair. Ugin the Ineffable, suggested by Adam Murray. Ugin the Ineffable. Is this the fair Ugin? This is nope, not that Ugin. This one. This is the fair Ugin. I like this Ugin. I'm okay with this Ugin. This is a 6-drop colorless legendary planeswalker, 4 counters Ugin. Colorless spells cost 2 less. We love that. We love getting more mana, and we like making things cheaper. This thing's got 2 abilities, +1, exile top card of your library. It's a 2/2, and when it leaves the battlefield, you put it into your hand. Or -3, destroy target permanent, as long as it's 1 or more colors. It's a good time. Now that we have a few more people here, I have a really exciting beverage. This is mango juice with a little bit of Sprite, and I put some poppin' pearls in it. And I put it in a little vase because I didn't have a fancy glass to show you guys. Daddy, Rusty Warthog. That's not a card name. All right, that's Ugin the Ineffable. Okay, Jose wants us to run the Wandering Archaic. The Wandering Archaic is an interesting card. It's from Strixhaven. I think it's a mythic. Is it a mythic? No, it's a rare. Okay, so 5-drop. It's an avatar 4/4 on this side, and it's got a triggered ability. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2, but if they don't, we also get a copy. This thing functions very similar to the lesson mechanic, except it's giving our opponents lessons, and it's not copying their spell, it's just giving it to us. It's great. It hangs out on the battlefield, and it accrues value, and it can make their spells more expensive if they don't want us copying it. The other side exists. It's a 3-drop sorcery that says each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land and or an instant or sorcery from among them, put those career cards into their hand, put the rest on the bottom of their library, and each player gains 3 life. I gotta be real with you guys, it's the guy for me. We're running the 4/4 all day. I'll wait 2 turns to get him on the battlefield. This thing's cool. It sits on the battlefield. It makes your opponent's spells more costly, or if you're playing casually, it just gives you spells. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Thank you, Jose, for the suggestions. If you guys want to see any of the cards we're talking about, y'all can check out my Moxfield profile. You really ought to run Unfair Ugin. I know. We'll talk about Unfair Ugin. I think it's the 7-drop and also the 8-drop are the unfair ones. I'm sure we'll see Dragonstorm later. The one that I'm used to getting washed out is OG Eugene, the Spirit Dragon. God, why is it like that? God, this is a Planeswalker. Why is it like that? Why do you have to do this to me, Moxfield? I don't care if it's the newest printing. Why do anyway. +2, deal 3 damage, -X, exile each permanent with mana value X or less. That's 1 or more colors. That's where it's out, y'all. This is an 8-mana colorless board wipe, usually, in my experience. It's a good time, and if they get back up to -10, they get 7 life, draw 7 cards, and they get to shit out all the permanents in their hand. It's a good time. Game-ending spell. Definitely a good piece of interaction. It's very rare for me to see Eugene hit the battlefield and just start bolting things with the +2. That's very rare. God, I hate this printing of him, though. If I'm being real, God, I don't like that printing of a Planeswalker. Okay. Flayer of Loyalties, suggested by Seb. Flayer of Loyalties. Flayer of Loyalties. Okay, he's a big boy. We're going to take a sip for that. Okay, 10 mana, 2 colorless pips, 8 generic. 10/10, Eldrazi. When you cast it, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature until end of turn. It becomes a 10/10, Annihilator 2, haste. Hilarious. I don't hate that. It's a $22 card. It was printed in the Commander Masters Eldrazi precon. It's another big 10-mana noodle monster, and it has a threaten effect. Threaten effects are where you grab one of your opponent's creatures, you get it till end of turn, it gains haste. It usually doesn't get Annihilator 2, that's just this guy. And Trample. We can't forget the Trample. That's how Seb's killed me. It's Trample. Seb really likes Trample. And Seb really likes Trample and +1/+1 counters. All right, what else do we got for our Geode Golem? Geode Golem from Jose Hopes to Peepin. Y'all should check him out on TikTok. Geode Golem is a card that I struggle to spell, I guess. Anyway, here's Geode Golem. Oh, is this the one that shits out your command? Okay, 5 mana, 5/3, 40-cent Trampley Golem. Whenever this thing deals combat damage to a player, you may cast your commander for free. Really enjoy that. It's very cool. Here's the thing, though. It's a cool effect. I've definitely seen it hit the battlefield. I don't know. I've seen this thing definitely in decks where it didn't belong and it didn't make sense. I feel like this thing needs some creature support or like at least some shoes. Eugene. Microsoft Lettuce. Mycosynth Lattice. Myco Synth Lad. Okay, y'all. All right, guys. We're going to be so fucking for real with you. If you see this thing hit the battlefield, you're about to have a bad time. Myco Synth Lattice is a $30 6-mana artifact that says all permanents are artifacts in addition to their other types. All cards that aren't on the battlefield are colorless, and players can spend mana however they need to do whatever. But the thing about Myco Synth Lattice is it's often played as a combo piece. This thing is, so it's all permanents. All permanents includes your lands. So you can get out a Myco Synth Lattice, turn all the lands into artifacts, and then you just need, I don't know, there's a dragon that says when you deal damage, you gain control of all their artifacts, period. You don't give them back. There's also, you blow up all artifacts. That'll include lands with Myco Synth Lattice. If you see this thing hit the battlefield, you're about to have a bad time. Thank you guys for the 600 likes on TikTok, y'all. Jose, what atrocities do you commit with this thing? You get your Microsoft lettuce away from me. Oh my god, it's Chaotic Master! Hey, Chaotic Master, and your powerful, beautiful beard. Oh, hey, Grim Blue Eyes, good to see you again. Okay, so Grim Blue Eyes just suggested of like a quintessential colorless card in the form of Forsaken Monument. Forsaken Monument is great. It reminds me a little of a Strionic Resonator, but colorless, right? Am I thinking the same thing? No, I'm not. I'm just wrong. All right, so Forsaken Monument, 5 mana, legendary artifact, $6. Colorless creatures get +2/+2, and whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, you add an additional, a lot like our boy Ultima. And whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain yourself a cool 2 life. This thing's great. It's just a value engine. It just gives you stuff for doing things you were gonna do anyway. You were gonna tap those permanents for mana. You were gonna make colorless creatures, probably a bunch of shitty little scions. Yeah. Great card for a colorless deck, y'all. Great card for a colorless deck. Karn combos with Myco Synth Lattice, that's right. Okay, Duffel503 on TikTok wants us to run a Virulent Slicer. Virulent Slicer. Virulent Slicer? Am I just so bad at spelling? I'm definitely just bad at spelling. V-R-U-L-E, well, I guess that's not how you spell virulent. Virulent Silencer. My bad. You did put Silencer. You did. I said Slicer and typed it as Slicer. My bad. Anyway, here we got a Virulent Silencer, new card from Edge of Eternities. Whenever a non-target artifact you control deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. How fun is that? Okay, so we're probably going to have quite a few artifact creatures because we can't really run creatures that aren't artifacts unless they're noodle monsters because we're in colorless. So we'll run this thing all day. This thing, man, I would hate to die to this thing. This seems like, surprise, it's a poison deck. There's a Jeskai legendary from, I want to say, Commander Legends that makes a bunch of servos. This would be very cool in that. All right, Jorah's Familiar from the lovely and powerful bearded Chaotic Master. Jorah's Familiar is a 4-drop from the Return to Dominaria set. It's a $1.50. This bird's awesome. It says that historic spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Artifacts, sagas, legendaries are historic. It's going to make our commander cheaper. It's probably going to make everything cheaper unless it's like a generic non-legendary Eldrazi. This thing's going to make almost everything in our deck a little bit cheaper. Good pick. Good suggestion. Thank you for that, Chaotic. Adam wants us to run the Nazgul Battle Mace. Hey y'all, I'm BGM, or Bigger Gayer Magic. We're doing live deck building. Our commander tonight is Ultima, who helps us make oodles and boodles of colorless mana for our colorless commander deck. If you want to see any of the suggestions we've talked about on this side of the screen, y'all can check out my Moxfield profile. It'll link you to a deck list with today's date. And you can see all the cards we talked about so far. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for the ghost and the heart and the 1,000 likes on TikTok. I appreciate it, y'all. Anyway, this is the Nazgul Battle Mace, and this 5-drop equipment came from one of the Lord of the Rings scene boxes, which is why we see a $20 price tag on this mace. Equipped creature has Menace, Death Touch, Annihilator 1, and whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token creature, permanent, probably to their Annihilator trigger, put that card onto the battlefield under your control unless that player pays 3 life. So the thing that prevents this from being Turgid on an equipment for me is that your opponents can pay a little bit of life to have it be a little more fair. This is a great piece of equipment. The Annihilator one is very silly, and since we already have a deck full of Annihilator triggers because we're running noodle monsters, it's a surprise, we're Turgid now. Like, it's gonna be a good time. What else we got? Ooh, okay. So Jose combos his Mycosynth Lattice, or spoken Microsoft Lettuce, with this Karn, the Great Creator. Activated abilities of artifacts you control can't be activated. And so the thing about this with Microsoft Lettuce is that it turns everything into an artifact, including your lands. And when you tap a land for mana, you're activating an activated ability. So Mycosynth Lattice with Karn turns off everybody's lands. It's a mean thing to do to your friends. They got some other activated abilities. +1 until end of turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its mana value. Or -2, you may reveal an artifact card you own from outside the game. I don't know how that works in Commander, and I'm not going to learn today. So let's pick a different one. I really like Wang Sutong. Are they colorless? I think they're blue. I'm sorry. If it's out of our color identity, it won't come up. But it's good to see you, H1. Marvin, Murderous Mimic. I enjoy a Marvin. I enjoy an activated ability. I like doing things on purpose. Marvin's super fun because they're a 2-drop little koi creature, and it has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. So if you have a mana dork that taps for mana, that's an activated ability. Marvin can pick that up too. It's a good time. I like it. I don't know how many activated abilities we have. Does it have to be a creature? It does have to be a creature. So we need like a big dork. All right. That's the atrocity. It is the... around the silent. Oh, Foxy, you build a standard deck around the silencer. That must have been cool. What are you using to generate the artifact creatures? Noetic? Oh my god, it's Kept Evergreen. Good to see you. Let's talk about Noetic Scales. Kept Evergreen. Kept Evergreen just brings up the most heinous cards when they come into this live. He's like, he comes into my live and he's like, I'm gonna learn them today. Like, Noetic Scales, $11, 4 mana, colorless artifact. During each player's upkeep, return to owner's hand each creature that player controls with power greater than the number of cards in his or her hand. Woo! Okay, so this is undeniably a mean card, and I'm a little skeptical of how powerful it'll be for us, because we want like the biggest possible noodle monsters for our deck. So I'm a little skeptical about Noetic Scales, but it will definitely trip up our opponents. There we go. I was trying to look up that other Strionic Resonator-like card. It's Lithoform Engine. Thank you, Foxy. Let's pull up Lithoform Engine. Lithoform Engine. The Lithoform Engine, it's like 5 mana. It's like 5 mana, probably, I think. Yeah, Lithoform. Nope, it's 4. 4 mana, 3 activated abilities, legendary artifact, $8. 2 mana, tap it, copy target activated or triggered ability, has to be yours. You get to pick new targets for the copy. Or pay 3 mana, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You get to choose new targets. 4 mana, copy a permanent spell. It's great. It's Neurotic Resonator on steroids. All right, what else we got? Have you included 2 soul rings? No, we haven't. Also, Dexterous. Is that a new profile image? You have a new profile image every time you come into my live, bro. All right. So I guess we're gonna play Soul Ring. No one's heard of it. It's a well-kept secret. 1 mana, get 2 mana. Haragast Erupting Nullkite. Can we play the Nullkite? I don't think we can play the Nullkite. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't play the Nullkite, even though it is undeniably so cool. It's an Eldrazi dragon, but it has red mana symbols in the text box. So if you build the Nullkite, you're building a mono red deck. I guess it can be colorless themed, but like it's red. But that is a very cool card, Duffel, for sure, undeniably. Hedron Crawler. Okay, let's Hedron Crawler. We need something to, you know, Hedron Crawl. Hedron Crawler, 2 mana, 2 mana Mana Torque. Run that all day. Comes out early, keeps making mana. Skittering Cicada. Skittering Cicada. A Skittering Cicada. Oh! We're seeing a lot of... Man, so many cards from the Commander Masters Eldrazi Precon are over $10. Like, all the cards they printed for that Precon, all over $10. Except for Echoes of Eternity, which is like $2. Alright, so this is a flashy 3-mana colorless insect, not an Eldrazi, or an artifact. You may cast colorless spells as though they had flash! There we go. Whenever you cast a colorless spell until end of turn, it gets trample +X is for that spell's mana value. Oh god, it lets you cast your big noodle monsters with flash. You can declare it as an attacker with like 20 mana, because you're in a colorless deck. All you do is make mana. And then you should... Absolutely diabolical. Diabolical. Also hilarious that it gives it trample too. That's nutty. I get why it's a $17 card. That's our Skittering Cicada. Duffel, we do have an Echoes of Eternity already, but thank you for the suggestion. Seb wants us to run the Endstone. I opened 2 Endstones and sold 1. The Endstone's interesting. It's definitely a combo piece. Glad to see the price came down. It's a $5 legendary 7-mana artifact. It says, whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes 20 if you're playing Commander. This thing's great. This thing feels like it's a great include for Flubs. Flubs the Fool, the frog that makes you discard cards when you play lands. I feel like that is a great home for the Endstone. It's also a great home here. 7 mana is going to be nothing to us with Ultima. We're going to have 7 mana as soon as Ultima hits the field, and we're probably not going to lose it for the rest of the game. It's a good time. Thank you, Seb. Okay, Capt Evergreen wants us to run a Crumbling Sanctuary. Crumbling Sanctuary. Crap, why? Spelling is my mortal enemy. A Crumbling Sanctuary. Crumbling Sanctuary. Crumbling Sanctuary is not a land. That sounds like the name of a land to me. Alright, for each 1 damage that would be dealt to a player, that player removes the top card from the game instead. Okay, that's different. So, that's very different. I don't know what to make of that. So, I don't know. Oh, the shirt, you need it? Hey, I just found your page in one of your videos. You was wearing this amazing Bear Pride buttoned-up shirt. The Bear Pride button-up shirt I got on Temu. I'm not proud of it, but I got that shirt on Temu. Yeah. Good luck on trying to find it, David. If you take a screenshot of that video and then use Google Lens, it should show you the shop where it's selling it. Godspeed. I bless you on your quest for the Bear Pride shirt. Crumbling Sanctuary, though, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. Command Beacon. Command Beacon. Command Beacon. Whoa, $13 for Command Beacon? I need to move my second monitor over here. Sacrifice Command Beacon. Put your commander from your hand into your hand from the command zone. Great, so it helps you avoid commander attacks. Use second land. Why not? Honestly, our commander's 5 mana. That's a little steep. It's not very high, but it's a little steep. And we can use this thing to help circumvent some of that cost. Endbringer. Is it weird that I thought Endbringer was going to be a Final Fantasy card? I feel like I've heard Endbringer in relation to Final Fantasy before. Alright, untap this thing every turn. Tap it, deals 1 damage to any target. Pay mana, tap it, can't attack or block, or draw a card. Honestly, great card. Yeah, it's only 50 cents. We love that all day. The art is arting. This is exactly the kind of design I want to see from Kozilek's Brood. We got the little plates on top. He looks very noodly. Yeah, good Eldrazi. Good Eldrazi. I like when they're not $20. Oh, Adam wants us to run a Cyberman Squadron. Cyberman. Is Cyberman Squadron not? Cyberman Patrol. We're getting Cyberman Patrol. Okay, 2 mana. Artifact creatures you control have Afflict 3, meaning that if you block a creature with Afflict, you're going to take damage equal to the number after the word Afflict. So if we have a bunch of little Scions and people block them, and our Scions are only 1/1s, and they blocked them anyway, we might just kill them off the Afflict triggers. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, Afflict is a triggered ability. So if we have Echoes of Eternity, we could just trigger them out. Speaking of triggering them out, I was killed recently by the card Seb suggested. The Glaring Fleshraker is absolutely nutty. It ends games. It's like Impact Tremors for colorless creatures. 3 mana, 2/2, Eldrazi Drone. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you make a spawn. Whenever another colorless creature hits the battlefield, you deal 1 damage to each opponent. So it's colorless Impact Tremors and a way to make creatures. This thing's nuts. It's only $120 right now. Yeah, great card. Honestly, great card. Like, if you're running an Eldrazi deck, this is definitely worth $150, no question. It killed me over the weekend. This card specifically. It was this card paired with Echoes of Eternity that doubled triggers. So it made 2 per colorless spell cast, and then it triggered 4 times for every drone that came in, or no. The ETB triggers happened twice, and these triggers happened twice, and it was enough to take me out. I think they had a roaming throne too, and it was just like, it was like they made 4 tokens and they dealt like 12 damage to us. Hey Ethan, this is live deck building. We are talking about our commander tonight, Ultima. Any cards you put in the comments that I talk about and you see over here will be put into a Moxfield deck list that you guys can check out via the link tree if you want to see what other people are suggesting for our commander Ultima. If you want to participate, just put any cards that you would play at him in the chat, and then when I get to it, I'll talk about it, and then, yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll just vibe, have a good time. Thanks for being here. Mir Welder. I didn't know there was a Mir Welder. We got a Mir Welder. A Mir Welder, 3 mana, 1/4. Imprint, exile target artifact card from a graveyard. has all activated abilities of cards exiled with it. That's pretty interesting. So we can use this thing as tech. Maybe some of our artifacts are going to get got. We can use this thing to imprint the artifacts from our graveyard and give it its activated abilities. We're going to have a Soul Ring. We're going to have a Thran Dynamo. We're probably going to have a lot of rocks that tap for multiple mana. And this thing, if he can exile one, will become a multiple mana dork. That's what I feel like the dream is for me with this guy. I'd run him. He's only $3. Hell yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a Mere Welder before. Very interesting. Hey, Jerry Caw. Oh, you just built... I don't... Oranger? Augural? Oranger Augural. Is that a Matt? I'm not familiar, Jerry Claw, but thank you for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. I hope you're having a good weekend. I mean, good evening. Fuck, I'm sorry. My schedule's all over the place. You're so freaking... Thank you, Speed Kills. I appreciate that. Hey, it's Tappin' Sackett. Hey, y'all. Check out my friend Tappin' Sackett. I really enjoy their videos. They're very funny or heartfelt. Please check them out as well. I have different suggestions if we're building Ultimate... Oh, yeah? What you got, Ethan? You got anything spicy? All right, so Kept Evergreen has our next suggestion. It's a Possessed Portal. Possessed Portal is our next suggestion. Okay, 8 mana, $4. If a player would draw a card, that player doesn't. At the big end of each turn, each player sacrifices a permanent unless he or she discards a card. What the fuck is this, Kept Evergreen? What are we doing? What are we doing, Kept Evergreen? Ooh boy, I know what to expect from you. All right, so this is a harsh stacks piece. And the thing about it being so harsh is that it's hurting us too. If a player would draw a card, that player doesn't. Oh my God. Infuriating. Nutty. Nutty, nutty. Don't be sorry, Kept Evergreen. You're not sorry. You keep doing this. In fact, I'm busting out the Shame Saber just for you. Today we're shame on Kept Evergreen. Shame. Alright, now we're gonna move on from shaming Kept Evergreen with their gross stacks pieces. At least it's symmetric, y'all. Thank you, Virgo Ho. That's cool. I also know nothing about Magic. Amonkhet Raceway works for both. Let's pull up Amonkhet Raceway. Amonkhet Raceway. Amonkhet Raceway. Amonkhet Raceway. Oh, it's an Aether Drift land. Okay, start your engine. God, I hate start your engines. If you have no speed, it starts at 1 and increases at each of your turns when an opponent loses life until you get max speed, which is the only speed that matters, is max speed for most of these cards. Target creature gains haste. Honestly, why not? We can just run a crap ton of utility lands in our Ultima deck, or we can run a ton of wastes. And honestly, wastes are kind of expensive. Like, wastes are a few dollars a piece, I'm pretty sure. Actually, can we pull up a waste? That, like, there's no reason not to run a million utility lands and forget to activate them. Waste. Okay, well, that's good. I hate that this was an uncommon when they printed it. Anyway, we're gonna move past that. There's a double colorless rare land in Aether Drift. 2 rare. I'm not sure. Take care, Virgo Ho. Hey, Sandy Lee. How's it going? Roaming Throne. Okay, Lord Pepsi. We pulled up Roaming Throne at the also, Lord Pepsi. Great name. We pulled up Roaming Throne at the beginning of the live. Roaming Throne is just one of those cards that's definitely going to be a commander staple. It's great. I feel like it improves every deck it goes into. Because if your commander has a triggered ability, like our commander, you could just pick that. You're going to get double triggers. It's going to be a good time. It has Ward too, so it deters removal. So good. $40 card. Recommend a proxy. It is a good time. Yeah, Foxy Benedict. Tappin' Sackett was saying over on TikTok the same thing about the Raceway. I don't know its name. I don't know much about Aether Drift. If we're being real about it, I don't know much about Aether Draft, but what I do know is that we need to get some shoes on our noodle monsters. So let's get some Swifty boots. Swiftfoot boots. Another commander staple. Probably don't need to explain that one at all. Alright, y'all, if you guys have any other suggestions for our colorless deck, please put them in the chat, y'all. If you see it over here, it'll be put into a Moxfield deck list, and you guys can see it in my link tree. I am drinking a little bit of mango juice mixed with Sprite, and I got me some popping boba in my cup today. I'm truly having a treat right now. They're lychee, strawberry, and passion fruit boba. All right. Just make it a Secret Omen machine deck. What's Secret Omen? I'm not familiar with Secret Omen. Is that a magic card? I guess not. All right. Shout out Tomer. Oh, Cauldron Complete. Cauldron Complete will do some stuff. Cauldron Complete can do some stuff. This is an $8 legendary 7-mana equipment that gives +5/+5, trample, first strike, indestructible, haste, and when it deals combat damage to a creature, exile the creature. It's great. It's an homage to the Cauldron cards. There's like a sword, a shield, and a helmet that you can see on this character here. He's got the sword, the shield, and the helmet. These were 3 different equipment that wanted to be on the battlefield together. They're a little bit... They're super outpaced by more modern cards. But this is an homage to them. And it's a great card. Great card. Great card. I'm sorry, Mario. Because our commander is colorless, I won't be able to pull up Nekusar. We did a Nekusar deck tech, like I want to say a year ago when we first started doing live deck building. Nekusar is such a fun deck, and it's so good for newer players because it really helps them get to see more cards because it's helping them draw. And you can build it in a way that's not super punishing. If that's your prerogative, you can build it as punishing as you want to be. Make copies of Shoulder of the Apocalypse. Who can stop you? Anyway, this is Dreamstone Hedron. It's a 6-mana mana rock that taps for 3 and enters untapped, so it's kind of like it only costs 3 on the turn you cast it. You can also sack it to draw some cards. It's a good time. It's 40 cents, and we're gonna need a bunch of rocks. Like, we're definitely running a Thran Dynamo. We're running a Soul Ring. We want rocks that tap for multiple mana because we're gonna be running a bunch of giant spaghetti monsters. Notable about this deck tech, though, is we haven't gotten any named legendary spaghetti monsters, y'all. What are your favorite Eldrazi Titans? Oh god, Pilipala. Pilipala is, in my experience, which is none, I don't actually think I've ever seen Pilipala on the battlefield before, but the way I've seen people in my live explain it to me before is that it's a combo piece because it has a really weird symbol on it. That's the untap symbol, not the tap symbol. That's an untap symbol. So you pay 2 mana, you untap it, and you make some mana. And there, I don't know what it combos with, but I know it combos with stuff. Ooh, we could run Graz. I enjoy Graz. Graz, I feel, could be a really fun commander in and of themselves. Like, I feel like it has potential. It's an 8 mana, 60 cents, 7/5. Juggernauts you control attack each combat enable, and Juggernauts you control can't be blocked by walls. Other creatures you control have base power, toughness 5/3, and are Juggernauts in addition to their other types. So that's Graz. He's cool. I like Graz. I run Graz in my Selesnian token builds because when I get to 8 mana, I can put Graz on the battlefield, and then all my little 1/1 bunnies become 5/3 Juggernauts. And when this thing hits the battlefield in my first main phase, I'm often ending the game at combat. It's very cool. It feels like a good finisher for me in token decks, and that's where I play mine. He's also got a really cool alternate art from Phyrexia Obi-Wan. I like him a lot. He's a good time. Yeah, Kozilek is the obvious. Kozilek is an Eldrazi Titan. Thank you, Jericho, for the suggestion. I really enjoy grass. Okay, that's Artisan of Kozilek. Well, that one, I want Kozilek for real. Okay, here's Kozilek for real, the Butcher of Truth. He's a 10 mana 12/12, and he's 45 American dollars. When you cast him, though, you draw 4 cards. He's got Annihilator 4. Let's talk about Annihilator. Annihilator is a triggered ability that says whenever you attack with this creature, your opponent has to sacrifice that many permanents as the number next to the Annihilator word. This, in the late game even, can just lead to your opponents having to sacrifice all their lands. It can be bad news bears. It's a rough keyword. Like, I remember when I first started playing Magic, Annihilator was just one of those things that felt completely unbalanced and unfair, because it is. But if you're getting to 10 mana, you should be casting game-ending spells, in my opinion. So in goes Kozilek, the Butcher of Truth. And doing some color grading right now on music video. Oh, very cool. Yeah, because you do like video editing professionally. I do it for my job, but also for funsies. That's cool. What kind of music is it? Emrakul. Let's pull up Emrakul. Emrakul, okay, the promise. All right, let's pull up new Emrakul. I like new Emrakul. 12 mana. When you cast a spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Period at the end of that sentence. Period. You just get them. You just get their board. It has flying, protection from permanents, and with protections from permanents that were cast this turn. But when it leaves the battlefield, you do have to sacrifice all your creatures, which I guess is fair. But if you steal somebody's board, you're gonna win. Like, full stop. You're gonna win. Yeah, so that's Emrakul. We can run that all day. All right, guys. I have to go, actually, unexpectedly. We're gonna cut it a little early. I'm sorry, guys. We do live deck building every Tuesday, starting around 7 or 8 o'clock, and then we do arena streams whenever you see me streaming. I also post a bunch of little green screen videos. That is my primary form of content. Sorry for cutting it early, but I do have to go.